Hello, welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I share sewing tutorial videos and fashion DIY. Today, I will show you how to make a loose fit pant, how to fix elastic on the waist, how to get accurate crotch length for all sizes, how to extend the back crotch so it maintains same length with the front part, how to cut and fix the side pockets on the pants. So if this sounds like what you would love to learn, stay tuned. Starting with the front part, I have folded my fabric into two right here. The volume of fabric on fold is my hip circumference divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches, while the length of this trouser is the full length plus 2 inches hemming allowance. From the waistline, mark your waist to hip line and your waist to crotch line. Now to get your crotch depth, simply divide your hips by 4, and because this is a loose fit pant, you add half inch to the crotch depth. So if your hips divide by 4 is 10, instead of using 10 inches, you are going to mark 10.5 inches as your crotch depth. So on the waist, I'll mark my hips divide by 4 plus half inch. On the hip line, mark hips divide by 4 plus half inch. Also mark the same thing on the crotch line. Okay, now go ahead and connect the line straight. With a slight curve, connect the hip line to the crotch like so. Just a little curve, just the way you see me do, nothing serious here. On this crotch line, you go ahead and mark your round laps divide by 2. The circumference of your laps divide by 2, then you add 1 inch for ease. So if the circumference of your laps divide by 2 is 14, you add 1 inch making 15. So next you want to come to the side of the waist and take out 1 inch. And on the bottom part, also take out 1 inch from the side. Okay, so you go ahead and connect from the waist to the hip line like so, and then connect from the crotch line into the 1 inch mark that you made on the down part. Now connect the front crotch all the way down. Just go ahead and freehand this, take it from the crotch to the bottom. Okay, we are basically done with the front pattern. Next I did was to add half inch sewing allowance on the center front, and I went ahead to cut it out. So this is for the back. Is on fold. So I'm just going to place the front part on top of the back part. Now when cutting for the back part, you have to leave a space for the top, because the back waistline is usually longer than the front waistline because of the butt. You know, the front is flat while the back side has a butt, so you have to extend the waist. Also, I left excess of about 5 inches for the crotch extension, because the back pattern you should have enough room for the butt, so I'll be adding 2 inches. Now this is for the big hips, like from hips 44 to 48, you can add 2 inches. From hips 38 to 40, 42, you can use 1.5. Okay, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. I'll be raising the waist by 1.75. Now I'm going to connect to meet the front side. I'll connect the center band that I raised by 1.7 inches to the side of the front part. Okay, so I can just go ahead and so they have to meet at the side, so when joining they will be equal. Now on the crotch depth, like on this crotch extension, I will extend it by 3 inches. 3 inches. Okay, to be sure that the line is accurate, I have to do something here. Just place your tape at the end of the front crotch and hold the tape rule down, pivot it. You see, if you don't do this, at the end of the day, if you are done sewing, you will realize that one leg is higher or one leg is shorter. So this way you are sure to get accurate length for the both of them, so when you join there will be no issues. Okay, so look, this is what I did. Just place your tape at the end of the front crotch, hold the tape down at 12 inches, then pivot like this. This is where my tape led me. You see, if I was to follow the crotch, look at where my hand led me. Okay, so I'll just make a mark here. So I'll mark my 3 inches extension here. So I'm just going to connect like this. If you're good with freehand, you can just go ahead and freehand this. So I'm just going to use this curved ruler. So we extended the back crotch by 3 inches, added 2 inches allowance here, raised the back crotch by 1.75, or you can use 2 inches or 1.5, then connected from here to the side of the front where they are supposed to meet. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 inch on the bottom part. Okay, so just freehand it, nothing serious. Alright, so that's basically it for the back pattern. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay, cutting the pocket, I'll fold my fabric into 4. I'll fold into 2 and fold into 2 again. Alright, so I'll use 7 by 10 inches. Seven by 10. So I will cut out. Let me show you how I will place the pocket on the trouser part. This is the front part of the trouser. So I'll go ahead and place the right side facing right side. So I'll place it and sew. When sewing, I'll stop at 6.5 inches. When I'm sewing at the side, I'll stop at 6.5 inches. Let me notch it. This is where my sewing will stop. So let's head over to the sewing machine. Like I explained earlier, take one part of the front trouser parts, take the pocket and place right side facing with the pocket side, right side of the pocket facing right side of the trouser. Go ahead and stitch and stop at 6.5 inches. Cut out the thread, open up the seam line, push the seam allowance into the pocket side and go ahead and make a top stitch just like you see me do in this video. Make sure the seam line is pushed towards the pocket side. Okay, cut out all thread as you sew. Now to form the pocket, fold it in like this. Make sure the stitching entered inside. Okay, make sure the stitching entered inside so it doesn't show outside, just like I did here. Now fold the pocket towards the side of the trouser and leave small allowance. Stitch on top of the trouser part so that it joins the pocket and the trouser. Next, you have to raise the trouser part up so you'll be able to stitch close the pocket, the inside of the pocket, just like you see me do here. So that's it. Go ahead and trim off the excesses. Please remember that you're supposed to weave this pocket. Okay, weave it so it appears neat. So we are done with the one part of the trouser. See the inside, how the pocket is sitting pretty. So I'll go ahead and repeat the same process with the other part of the front trouser. So just in case my explanation was a bit confusing for you, you can go ahead and watch how I fix this other side of the pocket for a better understanding. Okay, if you have watched to this point, please give this video a thumb up. If you have any question, please drop them in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to do so. Thank you so much for your support. push towards the inside. Now move this. After fixing the pocket, then match the two front parts at the crotch. Make sure to match them correctly and then go ahead and stitch. Stitch from the top to the end of the crotch. When you're done with the front, you take the back parts, match them also on the center back and stitch all the way from the top to where the crotch ends. Next step is to open up the back. Place the front part on the back part. Make sure right sides are facing each other. Go ahead and take some pins to pin the sides to keep them in place so they don't move about. Then go ahead and stitch with half of an inch from the top to bottom. You either stitch with half of an inch or you stitch with 0.75, that is 3/4 inch. When you get to where the pocket stitching ends, make sure to place your needle on the fabric and raise the pocket up, then you continue stitching. After stitching one side, take out the pins and then repeat the same process to the other part of the trouser. Next is to match the trouser at the crotch line. Make sure you pin it in place. Now start stitching from the center towards one part. You stitch from the center to one part and then come back to the center and continue stitching towards the other parts. If you're getting value from this tutorial, kindly give this video a thumbs up. If you have any question or any nice comments, please drop them in the comment box. If you're yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. It is completely free. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate. Next thing to do is to cut the trouser band. Before you cut the trouser band, make sure you take the round circumference of the trouser waist before you go ahead and cut the band, and don't forget to add ½ inch or 1 inch for joining the band. When fixing the band to the trouser, make sure you match the seam line on the band to the center stitch on the trouser before you go ahead and attach. So I was supposed to attach this band on fold, but I was distracted by something, but I later corrected my mistake and that took me extra time. After fixing the band, I went ahead to cut out the elastic that will be passing into the waist. This is an almost 1 inch elastic. If you have 2 inches or 1.5 inches elastic, I would suggest you use that. This is the one that was available to me, so I just had to quickly use it. So the length of this elastic, I cut it at 28 inches, though I later reduced it like 2 inches because it's not really that stretchy. But if you have a very stretchy elastic, make sure to minus up to 10 inches from your actual waist measurement, then use that to cut your band. So I am passing the elastic into the trouser waist now, and here is it. It is out. I pulled it out and then went ahead to hold the two ends of the elastic together. So this is me trying to make sure the elastic is balanced inside the waistband. Next, I went ahead to close the opening where I followed to pass the elastic. To finish up, I went ahead to hem the trouser. Here is the finished look, and it has brought us to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.